Hey Wizards fans, welcome back to another Wizards Hoop Life video. In today's video, we'll be talking about how AJ Dybantsa is the last cornerstone piece of this Wizards franchise. One of the biggest questions surrounding AJ Dybantsa is simple. Is he worthy of the number one overall pick? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down how he is the number one overall pick and how he fits with the players on this team. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily Wizards content. For years, AJ Dybantsa has been viewed as the number one top prospect in his class. Scouts love the size, the athleticism, the scoring ability, and the upside. Barring something unexpected, he's the favorite to hear his name called first overall in the 2026 NBA draft. But for Wizards fans, I think there's much more interesting questions. What happens when he actually comes to Washington? Not how he fits on a veteran team, not how he fits on a roster trying to win immediately, but how he fits alongside the young core the Wizards are already building. And the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that AJ Dybantsa could be the final foundational piece that brings the entire rebuild together. For years, front offices have been chasing something similar: size, versatility, athleticism, and positionless basketball. Look at the teams that constantly compete at the highest level. They have multiple players who can defend, handle the ball, switch across positions, and impact the game in different ways. The Wizards may have already have several of those pieces: Alex Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George, and Trey Johnson. If you add AJ Dybantsa to that group, suddenly the vision becomes much more clear. What makes Dybansta such an attractive fit isn't that he's just talented, it's that he fits a role Washington doesn't currently have. Think about the core for a second. Alex Sarr projects as a defensive anchor. Trey Johnson projects as an elite shooter and perimeter scorer. Bilal projects as a lockdown defender who takes on the toughest matches and toughest assignments every night. And Keyshawn projects as the connector, the player who keeps the offense moving and impacts winning basketball. And AJ Dybantsa, he projects as the offensive engine, the primary creator, the player who can carry an offense when things break down, the player that defense is playing game plan for. That's a remarkably clean fit, because if we were being honest, that's still the biggest thing that Washington lacks right now. The Wizards have an intriguing young talent, but they don't have yet that player who can consistently create offense at a star level. Dybansta has the potential to become that player. He's comfortable scoring from all three levels. He can attack downhill, he can finish through contact, and he can create his own shot. And perhaps more importantly, he has the kind of offensive ceiling that teams spend years searching for. Now let's talk about how he fits with the players already on the roster, starting with Alex Sarr. Sarr's value comes from his defense, his rim protection, and his mobility. His ability to switch on smarter players and still hold his own. If Alex Sarr develops into a player most people believe he could become, he'll spend nights protecting the paint, cleaning up mistakes, and anchoring the defense. Instead of asking AJ to carry major defensive responsibilities inside, he could focus more on becoming the offensive centerpiece. And defensively, he can become a disruptive wing defender who creates turnovers and sparks transitional opportunities. Then there's Trey Johnson. One of the fastest ways to help a young superstar develop is surrounding him with shooting. That's where Trey Johnson comes in. His shooting ability could be one of the most important parts of AJ Dybantsa's development. Now imagine kicking the ball out to Trey Johnson, waiting out behind the three line when the AJ collapses the defenses. Johnson's spacing creates driving lanes for Dybansta, and Dybansta's gravity creates open shots for Johnson, and both players benefit. Now let's talk about the most underrated piece of the entire puzzle: Bilal. Every championship team needs a player who's willing to do the dirty work. The player guarding the opposing superstar, the player making life difficult for elite scorers. Bilal has the tools to become that guy, and when he reaches his potential, it'll make life easier for everyone else. Imagine a future lineup where the Bilal is defending the opponent's best perimeter player, Sarr protecting the rim, and Dybansta is free to roam, to create turnovers and attack in transition. That's the type of versatility every organization wants. The ability to guard multiple positions, and that's where the modern NBA is headed. Now let's talk about Keyshawn George, maybe the least flashy player in discussion, but one of the most important. Every team has a connective player, guys who don't need 20 points to the night to make an impact, players who move the ball quickly and keep the offensive flow. George has the chance to become exactly that type of player. His role may never generate the same headlines as Dybansta or Sar, but championship teams are filled with players whose value goes beyond the box score. And when you step back and look at the potential core, one thing immediately stands out: the size. Trey Johnson, Bilal, AJ Dybantsa, Keyshawn George, and Alex Sar. That's length at every position. The defensive versatility is just off the charts. The athleticism, shooting, playmaking, and switchability throughout that lineup. But most important, it's identity. And the Wizards, then that's something the Wizards have lacked for a long time. Pieces were added that weren't fit together, and timelines rarely match. The long-term vision wasn't always clear, but this feels different. Perhaps the first time in years, you can actually see the blueprint. You can actually see where the organization that is trying to go. A young, versatile, positions roster built around length, defense, and upside. Thank you so much for watching the Wizards Hoops Lab. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content, and I'll see you on another one.